Hey Dabbers, and welcome back to another Dab 2000 video and another MCU ranking. I think this is my fourth time ranking every single MCU project again. Well, actually not all of them. I haven't seen two of the projects. But other than that, I've seen 43 of the MCU projects, which is pretty insane. And if you don't know, the MCU is my favorite franchise of all time. Or else why would I have literally Loki's scepter in my hands? And I will be showing you mostly all of these things I got because I'm a huge MCU fan. And these Disneyland, you know, this stuff is really cool and they're really accurate. So I'll show you them when we get to the movie they were in. But I'm just starting off with Loki's scepter because this is sick and it's life size and I kind of wanted to start the video off with this. So there are 43 projects. There are, I think, 5 new things that came out this year, but 2 of them were season 2s of a show. So I will be combining season 2s with season 1 because I think they're all one big story. So with that said, let's get started in this ranking. I'm going to turn this off and put this away for now. Sadly, even though it is amazing. Just put that down real quick. Alright, so let's get started. Coming in at number 43, I have Miss Marvel. Definitely my least favorite project in the entire MCU. I just think they did not know where this show was going at all. I will give it credit. They did start it out pretty good. With the first 2 episodes, it was actually pretty good. I was like, okay, this isn't that bad. But then it goes down a big rabbit hole with Miss Marvel's ancestors and everything. I just thought it totally went off the rails and I didn't know what was happening. And me and Junior actually made a remake podcast of this one, which I think both of our pitches, were actually better than the actual show. Right, Junior? Definitely our best episode so far, so go check that episode out. But all in all, pretty bland show, and I just don't like this one. So that is it. This is why it's the worst project in the MCU for me. Coming at number 42, I have She-Hulk. Now, I think a lot of people would say this is the worst MCU thing in the entire MCU. Honestly, I thought it was actually pretty good. I think there are some laughs that are really funny. There are a lot of scenes that are funny in the show, but the ending ruined it for me because when She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall and literally goes into Disney Plus and to the writers, I was like, they didn't have an ending for this, and nothing was paid off at all. They set up villains and didn't pay it off because so She-Hulk could just break the fourth wall and be like, nah, let's just not do this. You gotta have plot points that go all the way through. And then the ending just feels like it comes out of nowhere. So that's why it's at this place. At number 41, I have The Marvels. And it's very unfortunate that this movie is this low down on the list. I just saw this movie last month. And honestly, I thought the first 40 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes, were actually pretty good. I was like, okay, I might have misjudged this movie. I did not. Because, yeah, they went, once they go to the singing planet, I lost hope for this movie in general. This is the perfect example of Disney Marvel. Captain Marvel's a princess. She sings. She has a prince. Who knows what even happens to the prince at the end of the movie? Because he doesn't show. We don't even know if he's alive. And it's just all over the place. The villain is one of the most lame villains of all time. It's a very forgettable villain, and it ends Monica Rambeau literally saves the universe, but the only reason why she's trapped in the other universe is because we can have a post-credit scene, and that's it. Even though I will say the post-credit scene is the best part of this movie by far, when Beast shows up in the theater.
One of the best post-credit scenes ever.
Yeah, it was just insane. Me and Junior were like, oh my god. So yeah.
Oh my god.
Coming in at number 40, I have Thor: The Dark World. Now, this is my least favorite Thor movie, and I actually have something from Thor: The Dark World, and it is the ether from it.
That's
and,
my favorite out of all the things he's gonna show.
Yeah, I do like this thing, but there we go. Has the reality stone in it, and this thing did get introduced in Thor: The Dark World. It's unfortunate that it's this low, but at least I get to show you this object a little sooner, unlike some of the other ones that will be shown a lot later. But this is another one of my Infinity Stone collection. So I'll put this down and I'll start talking about Thor: The Dark World.
Aren't you missing a couple of the Infinity Stone collection?
No, I don't have the Infinity Gauntlet. The movable one. That's the only one I don't have. Other than that, I think I have all the other ones. Alright, so Thor: The Dark World, I was considering putting it up a little higher, but honestly, I totally forgot what happens in this movie. This movie is so forgettable. I was like, what is the best action scene in this movie? There is none. There's not a good action scene in this movie. And then I just think it's so forgettable. The villain is not even that memorable. And then the only thing I remember about it is I like Loki and Thor's banner. They're them talking to each other, but you get that way better in Thor Ragnarok. So this movie's highly forgettable, and that's why it's right here. Coming down to number 39, I have Incredible Hulk. Now this actually has been moved up a couple slots from the last time. I would say this was the worst MCU movie.
What is?
Incredible Hulk. I would say this is the worst MCU movie ever. Well, now that Marvel's phases 4 or 5 has some weird stuff, and then I couldn't remember what happened in Thor: Dark World. I do give this movie credit for the final battle. Hulk and Abomination fight is really cool at the end, but that's all I can say. The rest of the movie's really bland.
What about the beginning when they're sneaking through that lab thing with all the crates?
I mean, it's okay. The only thing that's really good about this movie is the final fight. But other than that, pretty bland movie. 38, I have Eternals. You guys probably know my Eternals take. It's okay movie. I like some of the characters and everything, but this movie should have been a show, so you could expand every character out and everything. But you get these little glimpses of their life, but they don't go anywhere. Kingo leaves before the final battle even happens, so I thought that was weird. And honestly, it's just a weird movie. And we have remake this on the podcast too, so go check that episode out too. At number 37, I have I Am Groot. There's nothing really wrong with this at all. It's just fun little shorts. But I just don't...
It can't be that high.
No, it can't be that high because it's literally 5-minute shorts each episode, so... None of the shorts do anything bad. It's just for Disney Plus sake. That's it. Just to put content on Disney Plus, and that's it. So, it's right here. It did nothing bad. It's just right here. 36, I have Captain Marvel. Now, I was hoping the sequel would be a little better than the first Captain Marvel. Did not at all. It didn't improve it at all. Honestly, I could show this now because it was in the movie. The Tesseract. Even though it was first introduced in Captain America: First Avenger, it was actually in this movie too. So I'll show this to you guys now. So let's turn it on. There we go. So this thing's really cool. It's really bright. It is a lot heavier than you think, but this is definitely one of the key moments in the MCU. This is by far, I think, the most times the Infinity Stone have shown in the whole universe, because this is very key to the universe. So, now that I shared that with you guys, let's talk about Captain Marvel. So this was the follow-up to Avengers Endgame, and it's not that great. I don't think it's that horrible, but it's not great. The Skrulls, they oppose these Skrulls as threats for too long in the movie, and then when it's a twist villain, you don't really care at that point. And honestly, the villains in this movie was okay. Ronan wasted potential. They showed him in the trailers, and it's like, oh, Ronan's in it. That's awesome. He's only at like the very end of the movie, and that's it. So nothing really that good. 35, I have Secret Invasions. Now, I wish this show was one of the best in the entire MCU. That first episode when Maria Hill dies, mind-blowing. I can't believe they killed her off so soon. I was like, this show's going to be interesting. But honestly, by then, the show went so slow. I feel like nothing happened in, like, 2 through 5. I feel like nothing happened except Talos died, which I didn't even think he died. I thought they were faking his death. No, he actually died. I was like, oh, that's okay. I didn't think he would actually die in the show. And, like, I don't even think any of it matters. Like, nothing matters in this show. Like, what are they going to do with this soon? The final fight was kind of cool, but then, the very end, they raised more questions than answering them. So, like, they do, like, a bunch of cliffhanger endings, and we don't even know if we're getting a second season to this. So, I don't know what happened to this show. I thought I would really like it. It was one of my most anticipated MCU projects, and it turned out to be a dud. 34, I have Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, we thought we would love this film because Thor Ragnarok was really good. Thor: Love and Thunder, too silly, too over-the-top everything. You get screaming goats, you get Guardians of the Galaxy, which is really cool. Gore the God Butcher is actually a really cool villain, but they took it too far with the funny, the silliness, and it just got too goofy, and that's why I feel like it lost a lot of people, and including me. 33, I have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. One of my most anticipated movies for this year, and it turned out to be not as great as I was hoping. I thought some of the creatures were weird. The Holes guy was just, like, weird. That plot point was weird. The only thing that was really good about this is the Kane stuff. I think he's a great villain, even though he got defeated by ants. So, I don't know what they're going to do now. They might do a new villain. They might recast Kane. Who knows what's going to happen. But, and then MODOK, I thought MODOK would be amazing. Turned out to be a total waste. And it was just so weird. His, like, I don't think it was right to do him in live action because his face looked... his face. It's just so weird. And I don't know. It's just something went wrong with this movie. I think the best part of this movie is definitely Kane. At number 32, I have Thor, the original Thor. And honestly, this movie is not that bad. I have rewatched it since, and I rewatched it. It's not as bad as people think it is, but it is like the early stages of the MCU. So it's not great as it could be. It's not as, the humor's not as funny as it could be. It's just like a middle of the road MCU movie. 31, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, if you know on my channel, I do not like this movie. I did not like this movie. It would be towards the bottom. But I did give it a rewatch before I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 this year. And honestly, I don't think it was that bad. I do think this might be the funniest, one of the funniest MCU movies. I think Rocket's hilarious in this movie. And I don't know. I think some of the action sequences are cool. But there are some problems with this movie. Ego is like wasted potential in this movie. He literally plays catch and delivers exposition, and that's it. So, there are some problems with this movie, but I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was. 30, I have Doctor Strange. Now, this is where I could show my first, another item. The Eye of Akamoto. And this is where he keeps the time stone, so it can turn open like that. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's green. It's a green screen with a green time stone. So, honestly, this is one of my favorites. It's really cool. And you can wear it, which is pretty cool and stuff. I'll wear this for the rest of the time when I talked about Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Honestly, I kind of forget what happens in this movie. I gotta give this movie a rewatch again, but I didn't have time to rewatch it again. I don't remember really what happens in this movie. Stuff happens. You get some cool visual effects in this movie, like with the mirrors and stuff, and like the mind-bending, like, city place they did go fight at is really cool. It has some cool action sequences, but I think it's actually really forgettable because I can't remember all the details in this movie, so that's why it's here. At number 29, I have Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm going to take this off for now, and you might see this in the thumbnail. So, one last look for you guys, and let's get back to the ranking. Okay, so Ant-Man and the Wasp is just really fun. There's nothing really wrong with this movie. It's just a fun time. You get just a, like, lighthearted, street-level story. And that's basically what you come here for this film. The ghost in this film, the villain ghost, she's fine. I mean, I kind of want her to be in Thunderbolts, but I don't know if they're going to add her in Thunderbolts or anything. But I hope we see her again. It's just a lighthearted film. 28, I have Black Widow. Now, I was really, really, really excited for this film when it first came out because we've been waiting for this film since COVID and everything. But it's still good. I think some of the action sequences are really cool. There's a lot of good stuff in this film. David Harbour as Red Guardian is amazing. He's funny and everything. Yelena is the main standout of this movie. Very funny. Taskmaster, total waste of the character. Just a generic henchman. Even though Taskmaster should be one of the best villains ever in the MCU because he could, well, she in this case, copies all the Avengers' abilities, so she should be up there, but is not. 27, I have Age of Ultron, Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, should I show, do I need to show anything for this movie? I don't think so. Alright, so, I'm just double checking. Okay, Avengers Age of Ultron is pretty good. I do think they could have made Ultron more of a bit, like, more, like, threatening villain. It isn't. There are cool action sequences in this movie. Hulkbuster against Hulk, amazing. The final fight is amazing. There's a lot of good in this movie, but, like some choices are weird. Like, Thor leaves in the middle of the movie and doesn't get seen until, like, the final act. Quicksilver, amazing character. I don't think they should have killed him off. I think they should have kept him. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, it's still a good movie, but it's just not as good as the other the other three Avenger movies. 26, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Special. Now this is just a lighthearted, fun time and hanging out basically with Drax and Mantis, and that's really about it. It's just a fun time. 25, I have WandaVision. Now this is the very first Disney Plus MCU show, and I think they did a pretty good job of this show. I think I do think this is one of the better Disney Plus shows. I think the mystery, like, watching it week to week, it was awesome because you get to, like, figure out the mystery because you're like, why did Wanda do this in the first place and everything, and you're trying to put together the pieces, and it was just really fun to do that week to week. So I think this was, like, the best example of a week-to-week episode format. And honestly, it's just pretty good. 24, I have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think this show is really good. I think this show definitely does get too much hate. I really do. Because there are some great aspects in this thing. You get Falcon, again. Here, wait. Let me scoot this over a little. There we go. You get Falcon again. You get him in the Captain America suit, so he gets to hold the shield and everything. You get to see Bucky as more of a good guy than a villain anymore, so it's very good to see Bucky in that role again. You get to get tremendous villains. You get Zemo in the comic accurate suit, and I don't think the story's that bad. I do want to know what it would be like if they did the 9 episodes. Because Falcon and the Winter Soldier was supposed to have 9 episodes, but they said it was too much like COVID, and COVID was right about that time, so they scrapped it. I do want to see that original version to see if it's a little better, because I like it a lot, but I wonder if it could have been great. 23, I have Shang-Chi. Now, I think Junior...
I'm a little mad because Shang-Chi is one of my favorite movies.
I think... Is it top 5 or top 10?
I think it's top 5. Sorry.
Why do you like top? Why is it your top 5?
I don't know.
You just really like it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I really like... I think Shang-Chi is just a fun time. It's not the best by any means for me. I do like, because you're dealing with, like... I feel like if they didn't do any CGI that much, I think this could have been way better. If it was just, like, hand-to-hand combat and not as much CGI, it would be good. Like, the bus fight was good, and then it goes insane for a little bit, but, like, I think its only problem is it has too much of that Marvel CGI in it. If it didn't have that, I think it would be much better. And I just think the story's really good and everything, so it's a pretty fun time. 22, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, this is probably this is my favorite MCU movie of this year. And honestly, it was great to see the Guardians one last time on one more adventure before James Gunn leaves and does the DC EU reboot. Because if you guys haven't seen all my DC EU rankings, they're somewhere on the channel. I just posted the heroes, villains, all the movies ranked, so go check that out. But it is great to see the Guardians together one more time on one more adventure, and it's great. I thought they would kill one of the Guardians members, because that's what the trailers feel like, but none of them died, which I think it was satisfying of how James Gunn ended this franchise. And I think it's great to see Rocket's backstory. It's very, very, very sad of what you see. And I don't know if I'll rewatch this film again because of how, like, it was, like, real, like, sad to see Rocket go through all this stuff as a kid and everything. And then, yeah, it's a great movie. It's a little lower because I feel like the Animal Planet's kind of weird. I don't know if I like that bit as much. And some of the jokes don't land as much, but still, it's a great time. Well, I don't know if it's a great time, but, like, it's still a good MCU movie. 21, I have Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Now, I do think this one is the one MCU movie that had the worst hand because,
What was it?
Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Because their main actor of the franchise died, and they had it during COVID.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. And honestly, I think they did a pretty good job of what they had. Namor is actually a really good villain. I'm glad they did not kill him off in this movie because I really want more Namor because he's a really cool character.
It's really not Marvel's fault for, like, having to kill him in the thing.
No.
It's no one's fault.
So, and then Shuri is great as the new Black Panther to take that place. And then they also did the kid Black Panther at the very end, so that's nice. And honestly, it's just a very heartfelt film and everything. And they did so well. 20, I have What If. Now, What If Season 2 just ended today. I just watched the newest episode today, the final episode of What If Season 2. Honestly, this is my first reactions of it. This is a great show. What do you think, Junior?
Yeah.
It's good. I thought the first season was really good. I like these, like, little stories that you get that, like, what if this happened? And then all this stuff happens and all of it is so different from the regular MCU. And then the second season expands on that, and it gives you more of the Guardians of the multiverse and stuff. You get some of those characters in there. The final episode was nuts. A lot of the episodes were nuts in season 2 because you get to see all your MCU characters back again. I just think this show is so cool that you get to bring back all the good characters again and just tell a completely different story again. So I just think this show is really good. 19, I have Werewolf by Night. I do think this is my favorite special, and I feel like MCU should do more specials in the future because this is awesome. Just the 50-minute special in this universe. I do think it was a bad idea to make Werewolf by Night in color later, because I think the best part about Werewolf by Night, it was in black and white, so you get to be more gory and everything, and you get more like cool stuff. You get the werewolf aspect, and it's nuts. Man-Thing is awesome. It's just a very, very cool premise, and I hope we get to see more Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night. 18, I have Hawkeye. Now, I do think this is my second favorite show of the MCU, and I like how it's not like big threats and everything. It's very low stakes. It's city threats. Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, I think, is one of the best characters that was introduced in Phase 4. And she's just very charming and everything. You get Kingpin in the final episode, which is awesome. And this is like the episode that had the finale was an hour long, which I think was well deserved. And honestly, it's just a very fun time. 17, I have Iron Man 2. Now, I know a lot of people will disagree with me and say Iron Man 2 is the like one of the worst MCU projects ever. I've never felt that way with Iron Man 2. I've always liked Iron Man 2. I thought it's very cool. I like Whiplash as a villain. I think all the action sequences are cool. I like the introduction to War Machine in this movie. I just like a bunch of stuff with this movie, and I don't get the hate that this movie gets because there's a lot of cool sequences in this movie. And the race car sequence is cool. Like, a lot of things are good about this movie, in my opinion. 16, I have Iron Man 3. Now, I could say the same thing about Iron Man 2. A lot of people don't like Iron Man 3 for more obvious reason. The Mandarin twist is disappointed a lot of people. But, honestly, we got the Mandarin later. We got him in Shang-Chi, and that's great. So now we can just stop being so harsh on Iron Man 3 because there's a bunch of good stuff in Iron Man 3. You get Iron Man trying to figure out stuff without a suit, which I thought was really cool, that he has to, like, what does he do without a suit? So he's going to try to do different stuff to take out villains, which I think is really cool. And there's just a lot of good stuff in here. The final battle is one of the best because you get to see all the Iron Man suits fight, and it's just a really good movie. And I hope we get Harley again. I think
Harley Quinn?
No, Harley, the little kid.
Oh.
I think he was in Endgame in the funeral, but I feel like we need him again because he's actually a really good character. Alright, number 15, I have Black Panther, the first one. Now, this film is probably one of the more mature films in the MCU.
What is?
Black Panther?
Yeah.
Killmonger is one of the best villains in the MCU. And it's just a really good movie. And the action sequences are cool. You get USC's Claw from Age of Ultron. And then now it's in Black Panther. It's just a really good movie. 14, I have Ant-Man. And this is just a lighthearted, fun action movie. There's not that big stakes. There's Yellow Jacket, which is a great villain for the first Ant-Man film. And I don't think they got that like little spark again from Ant-Man. I just feel like they keep going downhill. Apparently in the Ant-Man trilogy. But other than that, it's still a great movie. The Thomas the Train fight is really cool, so it's a good movie. 13, I have Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, some people are really hating on this film. I've never understood that. I think Mysterio is a great villain, and sure, he's not as, like, he was in the comics and everything, but I still think he's a good character. And because he's, like, illusions, that's all he does, so it's like a twist that you weren't expecting, and that's what Mysterio is. It's just twists and everything. And honestly, I just really like this film, and I think it's really funny, and I rewatch this one a lot. 12, I have Captain America: The First Avenger. I really like Steve Rogers' origin in this movie. I think it's just well paid off, and I like it how it's during World War II, so it's very good, and everything. I'm sorry, and everything, and it's just really good. Red Skull is a really good villain. You get to see the Tesseract for the first time in this movie, so it's a really good movie. Okay, that almost fell. That was the Loki scepter. So honestly, it's just a really fun movie. 11, I have Loki. Now, if you know, Loki's my favorite MCU show of them all. I thought season 1 was really good with the cliffhanger, and we got season 2 this year. My thoughts on this movie, I haven't shared my thoughts on this yet. It's just as good as season 1. The ending when Loki is walking up the stairs. No, but I've said a lot of spoilers for a lot of these things. So, yeah. So when he's like bringing the multiverse together is just amazing, and it's just one of the most powerful scenes in the MCU. It is very good, and I think they just wrapped the show up really good, and that's why I feel like Marvel needs to take notes on the Loki show. Do what you did with the Loki show, and put that with all the other shows, because all the other shows could be amazing, just like Loki. Alright, we made it to the top 10. At number 10, I have Spider-Man: Homecoming. One of the movies I feel like is getting a lot of hate recently. I have no idea why.
31 minutes?
Yeah, I've been talking for a while.
Ain't no way I'm watching this one.
So, I recently this movie's been getting a lot of hate for some weird reason. I still really enjoy this film. I think Vulture is definitely one of the best. Like, it's just like a very good villain. There's a lot of good action sequences. It's lighthearted, funny, and I think this film is great. And I don't know why everyone's giving this movie so much hate, because I feel like we all liked it when it first came out. So I don't know why a lot of people are hating on this film. And you get Spider-Man, like, not choosing to be Avenger, even though he does become an Avenger later. But, you know, it's still a good arc. Number 9, I have Thor: Ragnarok, Junior's favorite MCU movie. Yeah. Definitely one of the funniest movies in the MCU. This is actually the only good Thor movie that actually made it up, like, this far up, because the rest of the Thor movies are not that good. But somehow they got the right idea for Thor for this movie. Very good action sequences. The lightning scene is really good on the Rainbow Bridge and everything. It's just very, very good. Alright, coming in at number 8, I have Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Definitely one of the better MCU films. A lot of people say this is number 1. It's a great film. I like how Bucky's evil, and then Cap has to try to convince Bucky to turn back to the good side and everything. It's just very good, and all the action sequences are really cool. Especially the elevator scene in this movie is really good, and everything. So this movie is definitely one of the best. Number 7, I have Guardians of the Galaxy. This is my last little thing for the video. It is the orb from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. You can crack it open, and there's the Power Stone. I would probably be evaporated if it was real, because you would die if you opened that. But still a very cool item right there. The orb for Guardians of the Galaxy. And it also comes with this stand, so you can display it like that. So, very cool. Actually, that isn't my last thing. There's one more thing, but I'll show that at the end, because it's in that last bit. But Guardians of the Galaxy, no one knew that this film was going to be as good as it was, because this had B-list characters. No one knew, not even B, D-list characters, that no one knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy was. And they became one of the best characters in the MCU, the best team in the MCU, basically. Except the Avengers, but it's just such a good movie. I rewatched this before we watched Guardians Volume 3 in theaters. Still holds up to the day. It's still funny. I love this film, and it definitely deserves top 10. Okay, at number 6, I have Civil War. Now, this is definitely one of the best. The airport sequence is probably one of the best fights in the MCU because you get to see all of the heroes fight each other. It's very good, and I like how, still to this day, you still decide if Iron Man or Captain America was right in this situation. So that's when you have a really good movie, and it's very personal, and you don't want you don't want anyone that's good guy to die in this movie because they're all your favorite characters. So that's why they crafted this amazing movie. We made it to the top 5. At number 5, we have Spider-Man No Way Home. This film was amazing. When I first saw it in theaters, it was awesome when Tobey and Andrew showed up for the first time. I can't believe it's been 2 years since this movie came out. That is insane. But this film, sure, it's a little messy at the beginning of how the spell works and everything, but sorry. But honestly, I don't care because you get this amazing stuff with the villains. You get Tobey and Andrew again. It's just awesome. At number 4, I have Iron Man, the very first MCU movie ever. And I like how this one doesn't have to introduce a bunch of characters because it's the first one. This is what started it all. It's very simple and everything, but it still holds up and is still one of the best movies today. Number 3, I have Avengers. This film was the first time we get to see all the heroes team up together to fight Loki. Here's the scepter again to fight Loki. And it's just very good. I think this is just really good. There's a lot of funny scenes in this film. There's the action sequences, the team all assembling for the first time. And it's just the banner's really good and everything. So this film is just so good. Alright, at number 2, I have Avengers Infinity War. A lot of people would say this is number 1, the best film in the MCU. For me, personally, it's not the best. It's definitely second best. It's still really good. It's not my favorite, but, it's really good. You get to see all the heroes this time. Like the Avengers, you get to see some of the heroes assemble. This time, you get every single hero from all of MCU in this movie. And I like how it's, split up in different missions throughout the movie, and it's good. Of course, everyone was shocked that they killed all the Avengers in this movie, which was insane. But I think it was great because this is Thanos' arc. You get to see Thanos winning, and it's just a really good ending. But at number 1, I have Avengers Endgame, and my last thing is the briefcase from Avengers Endgame. It has 5 of the stones in there. You probably can't see the green one because this is a green screen. Or you can, I don't know. But it comes with 5 of the stones. Ah, crap. It fell. But anyway, I'll fix that later. But this film is definitely my favorite film. I like the time travel aspect of this movie to go back to previous MCU movies to stop Thanos. It's just so good. And then the final battle in this movie is one of the best battles ever. This movie is by far the best MCU movie for me. There has so many ties from every single MCU movie ever to come to this peak at top. And it's just so good. So that's why it comes in at number 1. What did you guys think of my ranking? Down below in the comment section. And how would you rank these MCU movies? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll check you guys on another Dad 2000 video and another ranking. Goodbye, Dabbers.